What's up, guys? Filming this video for you guys to talk a little bit about the HyperLiquid ecosystem and the upcoming potential just crazy next big thing. Now, I don't make these kinds of videos lightly. Obviously, I look through a ton of projects on a daily basis and I spend a lot of time researching. And recently, you guys would have saw me post a lot about HyperLiquid on the Discord. And so I'm just going to make a video here to educate you guys a little bit more about why I think this can be the next big thing and also the opportunities that we have in all of this. So first of all, what is HyperLiquid? This is essentially a perpetual DEX. This is a perpetual DEX aiming to become, well, just the best perpetual DEX. One-click trading, seamless, real-time liquidity, precision. Like we've all heard this before. But the thing that makes this different is that this is not just a product on an ecosystem, like just a token. They are doing this on a custom layer one solution. They are essentially a layer one, but primarily they created HyperLiquid. Like Hype is an ecosystem coin, but the primary use of this ecosystem coin is a DEX. So very different from, let's say, Solana, which is, well, just a layer one and things are built on top of this. HyperLiquid is a DEX that also has a layer one. And so far, the thing that is really beautiful about this is in terms of the involvement of smart money. If I just go onto their Twitter page, you can see, well, this is one of the smart money trackers that I use. Let's take a look at HyperLiquid. And this is followed by the biggest names in the industry. The score is amazing, but the real thing that I really want to touch on here is the fact that community here is a rare type of community. This is not something that we see often. It's almost like a cult following, and this is rare to see when it comes to layer ones. Like the couple times that we've probably seen this is maybe on Chain, and we all saw how good that did. Currently, HyperLiquid is only sitting at about $5 or $6 billion worth of market cap. In fact, we can check right now. The market cap for HyperLiquid, yeah, it should be around $5 or $6 billion. Yeah, $6 billion right there. So in terms of a layer one, we're still really, really early. If we take a look at CoinGecko and take a look at layer ones, HyperLiquid is nowhere near the top of this list. You can see just to get to $6 billion, we put it, at number 32 in terms of total crypto market cap. Now let's compare, let's do a, relative comparison between what HyperLiquid could achieve versus the existing coins that already somewhat achieve what HyperLiquid is setting out to achieve. And immediately Sui comes to mind. So that puts it at a minimum 2x valuation from now. Sui is probably going to end this cycle as one of the top performing tokens, just because I think this time around, Sui and Solana are very much leading the layer one charge. And so it wouldn't be surprising to see Sui at, somewhere around 30, 40, even $50 billion worth of market cap. Depends on a lot of factors, of course. But even if we just use that kind of valuation moving forward, and depending on how HyperLiquid, which at the moment is very promising in terms of the amount of smart money involvement, this has the real potential to sit at 5 to 10x the valuation that it is right now. But the beautiful part about the Hype ecosystem is that Hype, yes, you buy the coin and this is very much the alpha play in terms of this ecosystem. But in terms of layer ones, Hype is very much a beta play, which means it's a little bit high risk. Not really high risk, but your potential for reward here is incredibly high. The gains aren't even going to be focused on Hype. Now, another I'm going to share a few coins on Hype soon that you can get into that are still really tiny. H Fund, for example, I call this at $65 million. It's currently at 75. But if we see the potential that H Fund, by the way, is the pump fund equivalent of Solana. This is where every new meme token is going to be launched. And if you take that into consideration, this is, this has a lot of potential. I'm going to talk more about the smaller coins that you can get into after this. But just understand this is a layer one. And just to talk one more thing about the cult-like community that we have seen, which is very rare, is that Hype is actually airdropped. There was an airdrop for Hype. Some of you watching this video probably would have been involved in the airdrop. But the thing about airdrop tokens is that once the airdrop happens, people tend to leave. And it either goes to zero or the adoption just stops because people get into airdrops to make money. They don't get into an airdrop because, they believe in the ecosystem or whatever. This has been the complete opposite of what in the case of HyperLiquid. In this case, during airdrop day, the total number of users on this chain is 180K. And just over the last couple of weeks, this was launched on November 29th, I believe. Just over the last couple of weeks, it's grown, right, by about 25% or 20%. Inflows are following a similar trend, increasing by about $500 million 2 weeks after the airdrop. This, if anything, is only gaining more and more adoption, as well as just mainstream people talking about this as time passes by. So the trend is still very much towards the upside. And again, it's about a sizable community of high quality smart money accounts. As we've seen before here, everyone is following this project. Like, if you haven't heard of it yet, don't worry, like, you're not too late. In terms of the raw potential that this project has, it still has a long way to go. Very much early. Now, yeah, sure. Right now, the only use case for HyperLiquid is to either stake it or, hold it just for the value. And maybe, you get some voting power when it comes to governance, right? Governance power. But this, again, this is only going to grow. Right now, that is the only use case for holding Hype tokens. What if you get to a point where, just like Solana, you start trading meme coins against Solana? Again, this is a perpetual DEX. The pump fund equivalent of this token, or like this ecosystem, was only created recently, and it's also only at a very tiny market cap. The adoption for this chain is still very, very low compared to what Solana can do. And currently, this is really fun to trade with. If you try using this product, I think you're going to come to realize how nice this is to use. Yeah, so many projects that are just launching. For example, this one I had my eye on when they made their first post. That's when I discovered them. Completely forgot about them. I was supposed to, buy the token. This has currently held the record for the biggest launch in terms of the HyperLiquid, ecosystem. And yeah, it's about to get listed on spot. This occurrence is only going to occur many more times from now on. So yeah, again, I sort of deviated away from what I was talking about before. The Hype token at the moment does not hold much utility other than, you hold the token, you get points, you can stake it, you gain APR, and of course you get to ride the percentage gain as the token increases in valuation. But this is only going to expand. The fact that this is a DEX, everything's being launched on Hype. This is also a layer 1, means that eventually you're going to see the coins that are launched natively on the HyperLiquid ecosystem being traded using Hype tokens. And so you have a real incentive here to get into Hype. And this is, again, only going to go higher from this. Let's talk about a little bit about the main meme coins that you should be getting into. Number one, H1. Without a doubt, if there is one that you're going to get into, a beta play for this ecosystem, a bet that this ecosystem is going to grow, Hype, H1. Yeah, check this one out. In fact, use the app because you get access to the pre-sales. Just check it out and you'll know what I mean. The other ones would be Per. This is the first and largest meme coin launch on the platform by the HyperLiquid team. Again, this is the leader. This is the first creation. It's a no-brainer. It's also a cat, also looks really cute. And if you're going to get into a beta meme coin play, it's the second largest meme coin. It wasn't created by the team, but it has an active Twitter account and the team is actively managing it, given that Per token was primarily a reward for loyal users and the HyperLiquid team did not continue to develop it further. PIP has a real upside potential. The Queen is a meme coin AI agent. We all we know what AI agents are doing. Obviously, I wouldn't get into this as the AI token or the AI agent type of play because you have so much competition in this case. Cerebro and, Elisa, AI16Z, and a few other tokens come to mind that have not yet gotten a Coinbase / any big exchange listings. So if I were to pick one, I would probably focus on those instead of this. But if you're really, going to bet on the HyperLiquid ecosystem performing well, this could be a great play. Then I'm not going to talk about the rest because I think the main potential here is going to be concentrating your bets in high quality projects that have a solid thesis and a solid use case. And in this case, I know meme coins do not have a use case, but if there was one coin that I would pick, I'm going to do H1. I'm going to hold the Hype token. That would be a combination of an alpha beta play, just to not spread yourself out too thin. The farm token is very interesting, very much worth looking into. I wouldn't throw too much money into this though, because again, it has a lot of potential, but not a proven concept yet. And of course, the meme coins, if you're into that, and the rest I'm not going to talk about, but primarily we make the most money by concentrating our bets, not by spreading them out. So hopefully this has given you a good understanding of, Hype. I'm gonna, ideally, if you return back to the zone about $14 to about $12, $13, that's still going to be the ideal buy zone to get into Hype. And, retracements always happen. So don't sleep on the fact that this could happen. And if it does, then get into this one, especially if you get into H fund, just trade using the order flow concepts and the volume profile concepts that I usually talk about. And I think you're going to do pretty good. Now, one thing about farm.fun, by the way, is you also have quite a decent number of smart followers. Of course, a lot more tiny compared to the HyperLiquid ecosystem. But in terms of like just taking a look at projects that have been curated and just have a really great score relative to the size of the market cap, you can see that farm.fun is actually, pretty high up there. Even though they only have 1,000 followers, they have 50 smart accounts following them. You have also like variations here and there. AIXBD is a big like AI agent that this is not the AI agent, but AIXBT is a big AI agent. So you can see where this hype comes from. If you look at Hack Terminal, very much a variation of Truth Terminal, but this one's a little bit more unique. And yeah, if you want to bet on the HyperLiquid ecosystem, this is probably one I'm going to look into. In fact, I would even be interested in checking out the product and just playing around with this. It's like a little game, that you can just create AI agents, you put it on the farm and, have fun with it. Hopefully this has helped you. So yeah, HyperLiquid, do not sleep on this one. It has really high potential. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys soon.